Let's get more on this very dramatic unfolding situation in Ukraine and the presence of 2,000 Russian troops in the Crimea. Laurence Lee is in Simferopol in the Crimea and he joins me on the line. Laurence, I believe you are on the way to the airport. Can you tell us what it is you are hearing about the developments and what it is that you're seeing at the moment?
Well, yeah. There's a lot of things happening at the same time since our reports much earlier in the day about the apparent takeover of the two airports, the civilian airports at Simferopol and the military airport at Sevastopol. Into this evening, Ukraine time, there have been a variety of reports of other things that have apparently happened, which have all led to the continued assumption that there is a sort of a direct assault, perhaps from Russian forces or from Russian forces to try to get more and more control of Crimea. And these have been a number of things. We've heard reports of flights from Kiev to Simferopol being cancelled, of phone lines being cut between the two places. We're actually driving around Simferopol at the moment trying to verify some of these things ourselves. One report from a little earlier on said that the state TV channel here, which is run by Ukraine, had been taken over by military forces or forces of some sort loyal to Russia. What we saw a minute or two ago was a TV station that was in darkness, and through the darkness we saw a couple of men walking away from us in what we thought were military fatigues. We're now on our way to the Tatar TV channel. The Tatars are a people who live in Crimea, who've been beleaguered and under the Russian Kosh for generations. They have now surrounded that TV channel with their own people to try to protect it from being taken over. And we're hearing other reports of troop movements and personnel carriers, not APCs, but troop wagons in the center of Simferopol, and we haven't quite got there yet. But there is this general sense now, if you look at it from the point of view of the new government in Kiev, that Crimea is under attack from Russia. If you look at it from a Russian point of view, it's that they're trying to protect the Russians here from people who they would see as being terrorists and fascists who are now governing in Kiev.
Yes, I was going to ask you to remind us about why Russia would be taking such interest in the developments in Ukraine and holding on to the Crimea, why it wants such a grip there.
Well, if you want to go back 250 years, Crimea was first taken by Catherine the Great for Russia, and it was controlled and owned by Russia and was Russian territory up until 1954, when it was given back to Ukraine by Khrushchev, who was then the Soviet leader. And actually, Crimea has only been part of Ukraine from 1954 until now. And so from the long-term historical Russian perspective, it is part of Russia. And if you take a different perspective from the modern day, and as we know, all politicians like to turn a crisis into an opportunity, there is an increasingly held view that the opportunity, as seen from Moscow, was to turn the revolution in Maidan into an opportunity to bring Crimea back into their fold, since they believe that historically it really belongs to them and not to Ukraine.
Laurence Lee reporting on the troop movements within Crimea. Thank you for that, Laurence Lee.